This Dark Souls 3 series covers how to do all quests and missable content in order so that all choices and rewards will be available. For best results, follow this series from the start of Part 1. There will be spoilers in the form of important information, and as usual, useful timestamps can be found in the video description. At the end of Part 4, we had just arrived at Farron Keep. In Part 5, we'll be covering important questlines to start or continue there before going to the Catacombs of Carthus. Beginning at the Farron Keep Bonfire, we will move out into the swamp. Straight and just a tad to the left is an Estus shard. It can be found sitting next to a small sunken tower. Purple moss clumps can be used to cure our poison status, but I just prefer to heal through it. Moving along this same direction, we can run up a set of stairs to find the first of 3 flames that will need to be extinguished in order to proceed beyond this area. After extinguishing it, we can go through the archway and down the stairs to our left. There is a gap in the barrier that we can roll through and drop down to the swamp below. A short distance to our left is a small tower, and the sage's coal can be found inside. We will then start heading back the way we came, moving straight along the path with the tall keep wall to our left. Eventually, we will find another set of stairs. The second flame we need to extinguish will be at the top of the stairs. After extinguishing it, we can move across the bridge to our left to discover the Keep Ruins Bonfire. Moving out to the other side of the Keep Ruins, we will then go a short distance to the left. The Sage's Scroll can be found in a small camp with several slain mushroom men. Moving left out of this camp and along the keep wall, we will come upon another white tree and a nearby giant crab. This crab drops the lingering Dragoncrest ring when defeated, and in addition, there is also the Crown of Dusk near the white tree. We will next move towards the Keep Ruins, passing in front of the ramp that leads up to the bonfire and into the small tower ahead. An undead bone shard can be found there amongst a horde of giant slugs. Just outside, there should be a very tall ladder with some slugs at the bottom. Before climbing up it, we can go to the nearby island with an Estus soup where the Sunlight Talisman is found. We can then make our way back to the ladder and climb all the way up it. Once at the top, we will go around the right side of the tower past the small doorway. At the top of a short staircase is an illusory wall, which we can hit or roll through to get the Dreamchaser's ashes. We can then drop down and discover the Old Wolf of Farron bonfire. We can interact with the Old Wolf to get the Legion etiquette gesture, and ask to join the Watchdogs of Farron Covenant. Before returning to Firelink Shrine, let's make sure that we are healed, then go up the nearby lift. At the top, we will find a stray demon, which drops the soul of a stray demon when defeated. This is one of those unique souls that we want to hang on to. Before leaving this area, we can pick up the Great Axe, turn around, and run to the other side of the bridge. There is a gap in the barrier on the right side that we can go through and then run along several platforms to reach a secluded area. Several items can be obtained here, including 2 large Titanite shards, the Lightning Spear spell, and Dragoncrest shield. If we double back and go up the staircase, we can then go down a short drop to get back to the lift. Returning to Firelink Shrine, we can give the Dreamchaser's ashes to the Shrine Handmaid, then speak through all of her dialogue. After burning our Undead Bone Shard, we can fast travel to Firelink Shrine once more to get Sirris to appear. Speaking through all of her dialogue will get us the Darkmoon loyalty gesture. We can then go give the Sage's Coal to Blacksmith Andre to get the Crystal, Blessed, and Deep infusions. We can also reinforce our Estus flask along with our weapons if we have the materials at hand. The soul of a stray demon can be used to get Havel's ring from Ludolith, which is very nice for increasing maximum equipment load. Next, we will travel back to the Keep ruins and go down the ramp towards the large set of stone double doors. Running along the wall, we will eventually reach an area with curse-spewing basilisks. We'll want to be very careful here as the curse status accumulates fast and results in instant death. Just a short distance beyond those basilisks, we will find the golden scroll in a small cave along with the antiquated armor set. We can then exit this cave and go around to the left to find another staircase. Climbing up the stairs, we will be invaded by Dark Spirit Yellowfinger Heysel once more, so long as we are embered. I recommend going up the stairs and then turning around to face her so that we don't have to deal with the basilisks, which will make the fight more difficult. After defeating Heysel, we can go back up the stairs and roll through some crosses to find the last flame that must be extinguished. Before moving on, there are 3 tasks that we should cover because they can only be completed before defeating the Abyss Watchers. The first is to give Orbeck of Vinheim both the Sage's Scroll and Golden Scroll. This will expand the spells that are available to learn from him. More importantly, it will ensure that Orbeck does not leave Firelink Shrine after we defeat the Abyss Watchers. The next 2 tasks we will cover are only recommended for New Game Plus, as doing them will disrupt more important quest lines which should be prioritized for a first playthrough. The first of those tasks will allow us to get the Pale Shade armor set, but it will be at the cost of failing Uria's questline and being unable to get the Usurpation of Flame ending. So, if you want to get the Usurpation of Flame ending and achievement, do not do this next step. To do it, we will need to speak with the Firekeeper at Firelink Shrine and heal the Dark Sigil. Keep in mind that this could cost an absurd amount of souls depending on your soul level and hollowing level. After doing this, we can go speak to Yuria to see if it worked. She should refuse to speak with us. Once that is done, we can go back to the staircase near the basilisks where we were invaded by Heysel. Going down the stairs and to the right while embered should trigger an invasion from the Londor Paleshade. Circumstances of this fight can make it very difficult, so I recommend eliminating any basilisks that you run into along the way. All that said, defeating Londor Paleshade here will not get us the Paleshade armor set. It will, however, get us the Mannequin Claws and will also set us up to get the Pale Shade armor set later on in Irithyll. The second of these two New Game Plus tasks will allow us to get the proper bow gesture, but it will be at the cost of failing Sirris' questline, causing us to miss out on several unique pieces of gear. All we have to do for it is go to Rosaria's bedchamber and offer up a pale tongue to Rosaria. After doing that, Sirris will be found at Firelink Shrine and will declare herself as our enemy. Going to the Keep Ruins Bonfire, we should then be able to find a gold summoning sign for Yellowfinger Heysel next to the small tower full of giant slugs. We will need to be Ember to see her summoning sign, and we should get the proper bow gesture shortly after summoning her. Once again, those two tasks are only recommended for New Game Plus, so we will continue on a character that has not done them. Therefore, if you did do both, and find that certain NPCs or summoning signs are not showing up, then that is probably the reason why. In any case, once we have handled all important pre-Abyss Watcher tasks, we can go to the Keep Ruins Bonfire and make our way beyond the now open pair of stone double doors. We will eventually see two dark wraiths at the top of a hill. The Farron Keep perimeter bonfire can be found to the right of them. This next part is totally optional, but there are some unique items that can be quickly collected in these ruins. Near the one-way door is the Great Magic Weapon Sorcery. There is also a Ravenous Crystal Lizard, which will drop 2 Titanite scales when defeated. Near the bonfire, we can exit the ruins through a hole in the wall to find the Atonement spell, along with a hollow gem. We can then trek our way back to a bonfire or just use a homeward bone. In either case, we will be starting at the Farron Keep perimeter bonfire. If we are doing Uria's questline and haven't angered her, we will find a summoning sign for the Londor Paleshade nearby while embered. Shortly after summoning this NPC, we will get the Duel bow gesture. We can then move out of these ruins and along the right side of the woods to reach the next boss chamber, although we will want to hold off on entering. Once there, we can use the Black Separation Crystal to send the Londor Paleshade home. We should then see 2 summoning signs appear nearby. Also, as a quick trick, exiting out to the menu and loading back in will reset any living hostile creatures to their starting position, which should help us save our health and resources. The first sign we will want to use is a short distance down the path away from the double doors. It is for Blackhand Goddard, and once again, we will need to be Ember to see this summoning sign, and we will get the By My Sword gesture shortly after summoning him. We don't have to, but if we want, we can send this NPC home and use the last summoning sign to bring in Sirris as an ally. This will only be available if we are doing Sirris' questline and have not angered her. I personally prefer Sirris to Goddard because she has some nice miracles on Kit. All that said, there is a major boss fight beyond the pair of double doors. Don't forget to equip that Symbol of Avarice after the fight if you have it, and you can pause now to avoid spoilers. For everyone else, I don't know how useful my advice for the Abyss Watchers will be, but it is definitely a boss that punishes greedy playstyle. Dodging and escaping combos should be a priority. Also, the Abyss Watcher can be backstabbed, so I recommend looking for such opportunities whenever the Abyss Watcher is focused on an NPC or other ally. As the fight goes on, more Abyss Watchers will join in. The first will help the main Watcher against us, whereas the one with red eyes will occasionally lash out at the main Watcher. In addition, this is the first boss with 2 health bars. After getting through the first health bar, the Abyss Watcher will ignite one of his blades and begin performing more aggressive attacks and combos that are also harder to avoid. I've found hit and run tactics to be pretty effective here, combined with the occasional backstab. Once the fight is over, we can quickly equip our Symbol of Avarice to get an extra 7,500 or so souls. We will also get the first Cinders of a Lord, which is a key item, along with the Soul of the Blood of the Wolf, which can be turned into Ludlith for one of 2 unique rewards. We can then discover the nearby bonfire, and approaching the altar ahead of it will open the path down to the Catacombs of Carthus. For now though, we will return to Firelink Shrine and speak with Hawkwood until he gives us the Farron Ring. We will then need to fast travel to Firelink Shrine again to cause Hawkwood to leave. Once that is done, we can head out the main entrance of Firelink Shrine and go to the left. Hawkwood's shield should now be found in front of a grave that is near a starved hound. In addition, we can find and speak with Eygon near the passageway to Irina's spot in Firelink Shrine, and we should spend our souls on leveling up more if possible. I recommend a max vigor of 27, as HP gains from further levels will start to fall off. At that point, if you're using a refined claymore like me, I recommend splitting additional levels equally between strength and dexterity. We will want to eventually get each of those attributes to level 40. If you're having trouble or need any clarification on what was covered in this video, you can reach out to me in the comments where I will do my best to help. The Catacombs of Carthus will be covered in part 6 of this series. You can find that over on my channel, and if you're new, consider subscribing. You're helping me feed my cat, her name's Marshmallow. Have a great day. If you're here today, have a great Tuesday, and as always, thanks for watching.